Hello again, and welcome to USA Wrestling Weekly. I'm Scott Casper. Here now, this week's news and features from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. Last weekend, Women's Team USA came home with 4 medals from Ulaanbaatar at the Mongolian National Championships. In a welcoming spirit, the Mongolian Wrestling Federation opened its nationals to other nations, and the U.S. brought 6 of its 2011 U.S. Open champions to compete. Capturing a gold medal was 121-pounder Helen Maroulis. Maroulis, a 2-time junior world bronze medalist, pinned Mongolian Nomin Betbatar in the finals. Maroulis went 4-0 in the tournament and had a key win in the second round when she beat the 2007 world bronze medalist Dorj Narmandak of Mongolia. Adeline Gray pinned all 4 of her opponents to win the gold medal at 147 pounds. Gray had an impressive second-period win over 2010 University bronze medalist Banstaryag Oyansurian of Mongolia in the finals. Now, Gray, a 2008 junior world champion, returned to action recently after missing most of the 2010 season due to injury. Claiming a bronze medal at 105 pounds was 2008 world champion Clarissa Chun, who finished with a 3-1 record. Chun defeated 2009 Asian cadet bronze medalist Sagbatar Avtsendayev of Mongolia. The final score there, 0-3, 1-0, 6-0. 2010 world silver medalist Elena Peroskova also won a bronze medal at 138. Peroskova finished with a 3-1 record when she stopped Mongolian Tangalag Mungtoya in the bronze medal bout. After the event, Team USA also participated in an international training camp to expand their experience and improve their skills. Well, we'll have an update on the tour next week on USA Wrestling Weekly, so stay tuned for more exciting news there. Well, the Battle on Broadway featured the U.S. battling Russia in a freestyle duel meet in Times Square, New York City, as part of the Beat the Streets Gala Thursday, May 5th. Freestyle Team USA had a training camp in Colorado Springs, Colorado, to prepare the athletes for the USA versus Russia dual meet, as well as the upcoming Pan American Championships.
Here with Zeke Jones, the Olympic Training Center, just finishing up a Saturday practice. Talk about the structured practice and what we went through today.
Well, today, end of the week, 6 days training in a row. I think, we're pretty tired, but we needed one more good hard day before we get to the Russians next week.
It started out, some of the guys did the incline this morning and then come in for some afternoon workouts. What type of workouts did we go through?
Yeah, we had 6 a.m. incline, mostly the resident team. This afternoon we brought in Beat the Streets and Pan Am team for one good last hard day. Basically warm up on their own, through the game. Then we drilled for warm up. Then it was structured sparring. Really, the sparring is competitive sparring, and I call it, like 50-80% live, where they're competing in combat, but not at 100% speed. So you can get into wrestling positions, you can feel different moves, you can scramble, you can have a series of actions that happen at one time. And so I think after they did that, then they went on to a match where the match was structured so that we put the edge of the mat, so it was a half a match. So what we did is we got on a half a mat, and they had to use the edge of the mat to score. So we put them on an edge of the half a mat where they had to wrestle on the edge, where there's a lot of pushing, a lot of push-outs, and defending the push-outs and defending the leg attack to the out of bounds. Ready. From there, gave us a short break. Then we put them over on the bands where we had them do shots for 30-40 second goes. Just really hit shots in repetition with speed and accuracy against resistance. And then after that, they did push-outs where they ran on the bands all the way out to where they had to touch their partner's toe. It's just like running a guy off the mat with resistance. When that guy's sprawling, you got to inch your way out to push that guy out of bounds, and that's what that was for.
How tough are those bands with the resistance? You see the guys struggling with them, but at what point do they really start to get tight?
Well, as soon as that thing really starts to stretch out there, you can see the look in their eye, and what they're telling you is, I don't know if I can do this. But as they inch and inch and inch, they realize they can get that guy through the edge of the mat and score. And when they do that, they know they can run anybody off of the mat.
What about the guys that are wrestling in the Beat the Streets versus Russia? How have they been looking this week?
Good. I love the energy level. I tell you right now, these guys are focused. They have a good energy, committed to the team. They want to beat the Russians. They know this is important. But you know, at the same time, the atmosphere is good. It's relaxed. It's confident. It's you can just tell the team's gelling right now.
In addition to the great wrestling action, tons of celebrities were expected for the Beat the Streets Gala festivities. Expected actors Billy Baldwin, Ashton Kutcher, Matthew Modine, NFL stars Justin Tuck, Antonio Garay, Marcus Colston, and Willie Colon, former Michigan State wrestler and MMA star Rashad Evans, among others. Olympic champions Dan Gable, Rulon Gardner, Jeff Blatnick, Kurt Angle, Tom Brands, and Kendall Cross, as well as many NCAA champions like Anthony Robles, Bubba Jenkins, and Darian Caldwell also plan to be there. For those unable to watch the event in person or see the webcast on themat.com, there will be other opportunities to see USA versus Russia live on television. Fox College Sports will air a tape-delayed show from Times Square with Jason Bratt and Rulon Gardner making the call. There are already 4 air dates scheduled starting on Saturday, May 21st at 6 o'clock and 3 a.m. Eastern, Sunday, May 22nd at 12 noon and 8 p.m. Eastern. As many as 20 airings are expected. You can check your local listings for more exciting details. Tune in next week to USA Wrestling Weekly for a complete wrap-up and extended coverage of the USA versus Russia match and the Beat the Streets Gala from New York City.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Good news, the USA will also be competing at the Pan American Championships in Rio Negro, Colombia, May 6th through the 8th. The event features top athletes from North, Central, and South America in 3 Olympic styles. This is the qualifying event for the 2011 Pan American Games, scheduled to be held in Mexico this October. Scheduled to compete in the events are freestyle Olympian Steve Mocco at 264 pounds, two-time women's freestyle world champion Christy Davis at 138 pounds, and 2005 Greco-Roman bronze medalist Justin Ruiz at 211 pounds. You can check out themat.com for updates from this important event. Well, the field in all 3 Olympic styles for the U.S. World Team Trials in Oklahoma City in June is almost complete after a series of qualifying events this spring. There is, however, one last-chance qualifier for wrestlers hoping to earn a spot in the trials. The Northern Plains Senior Regional Championships will be held in Waterloo, Iowa, May 12th through the 14th. The champions in men's freestyle, Greco-Roman, and women's freestyle will earn their spot in the World Team Trials field. Traditionally, this has been a well-attended and highly competitive event featuring talented athletes from across the country. Among the champions last year were Jordan Holm, who won a U.S. Open title in Greco-Roman this year, and Nick Maribel, a U.S. Open freestyle runner-up this season. The event will be held alongside the Northern Plains Junior Regional Championships, featuring many talented high school wrestlers from the surrounding states. Athletes in both divisions can receive a discounted entry fee by pre-registering online at trackwrestling.com. Again, we encourage you to do it, trackwrestling.com. Well, this week we profile one of our nation's early pioneers of women's wrestling, 4-time world silver medalist Shannon Williams. The daughter of a high school wrestling coach, Shannon wrestled for 2 years at Chaffee High School in California. In college, she heard about an all-girls wrestling tournament nearby and decided to enter. The event was the Women's World Team Trials, and when Shannon won her weight, she'd made her first U.S. World Team. For almost a decade, Shannon Williams was one of the nation's absolute best women's freestyle wrestlers. Williams won 4 world silver medals, placing second in 1991, 93, 94, and 97. She also placed fourth in the world twice in 1990 and 95, and fifth the following year in 1996. Shannon won 4 U.S. Nationals titles and placed second in the Nationals 4 other times. Many people remember Shannon as a contestant on the TV show American Gladiators. Retiring from competition in 1998, Williams stayed involved as a coach. She served as assistant for the 1999 U.S. Women's World Team, which won the World Team title in Boden, Sweden. It was the only time the U.S. has been Women's World Team champions. She also served as assistant coach for a boys' high school team and a head coach for a girls' high school team. This week, we salute Shannon Williams. Good job. Download action and technique video of wrestling legends and more when you visit our friends at thewrestlinggreats.com. Well, each week on the show, we recognize a photo of the week. These pictures are sent in by wrestling families and fans from around the country. They're also being considered for the photo contest page in USA Wrestler magazine, as well as for the USA Wrestling Facebook page. This week's USA Wrestling Weekly Photo of the Week is taken by Pat McHugh. It features Chandler Atkins of Alabaster, Alabama, competing in the 55-pound weight class at the 2010 Dixie Nationals in Atlanta, Georgia. You can have your photographs considered for USA Wrestling's photo contest when you email your images to Gary Abbott at gabbott@usawrestling.org. Stay tuned, there's more. This is USA Wrestling Weekly. Wrestling fans, USA Wrestling has launched a top social networking site designed for you. USA Wrestling Nation is the latest innovation provided to the wrestling community by our sports national governing body, USA Wrestling. Post photos, blogs, and videos, interact on boards. Keep up with your favorite wrestling personalities with USA Wrestling Nation. It's free to register. Join the thousands of wrestling fans that have already signed up and become a part of the USA Wrestling Nation at usawrestlingnation.com. Well, this June, the wrestling community has 2 great opportunities to meet legends from the past and to embrace the current stars in men's and women's freestyle and men's Greco-Roman, when 2 of the most important events of the year are held back-to-back in Oklahoma. The class of 2011 will be inducted at the National Wrestling Hall of Fame Honors Weekend set for Stillwater, Oklahoma, June 8th through the 9th, and we'll be there. Just a short drive away, the U.S. World Team Trials will be held June 10th and 11th at the Cox Convention Center in Oklahoma City. Now, this is one of the jewels in wrestling's crown and features the nation's best athletes in the 3 Olympic styles. Fans can attend both activities and be a part of wrestling at its finest. We spoke with National Wrestling Hall of Fame Executive Director Leroy Smith about June's wrestling celebration in Oklahoma.
Hi, I'm Leroy Smith, Executive Director of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame and Museum in Stillwater, Oklahoma, where in a few short weeks we'll be hosting the 35th annual induction ceremonies of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. This year's class begins with our distinguished members. Dan Brand, who was an outstanding international competitor in the 1950s and 60s. Dan, in fact, was the first wrestler ever to win medals in both the World Championships and the Olympic Games in the United States. We also will be honoring posthumously Richard Delgado, known as Dick Delgado, from the University of Oklahoma, where he was a 2-time NCAA champion and Olympian. Also, one of the greatest Greco-Roman wrestlers in the history of the United States, Dennis Hall, who was a world champion and Olympic silver medalist in Greco-Roman wrestling. And Kel Sanderson, the great Kel Sanderson, who was one of the all-time greatest collegiate wrestlers in the history of the United States and Olympic champion and current head wrestling coach at Penn State University. In our other award categories, we will have the recipient of the Order of Merit, Sonny Greenhall, longtime chairman of the New York Athletic Club. Medal of Courage recipient will be Bob McPhee from the state of Maine. And our outstanding lifetime service official recipient will be Dr. Mike McCormick, one of the great all-time collegiate wrestling officials. Plan now to attend Honors Week this year. You can do so by going onto our website and registering for either our presentation of plaques on June 8th, that's a Wednesday, at 6 p.m., and the induction ceremony, the formal induction ceremony, which begins at 6 p.m. also on Thursday, June 9. And in addition to that, you can also take in the World Team Wrestling Trials, which will be in Oklahoma City at the Cox Convention Center. Plan now to attend our 35th anniversary.
Young women wrestlers are making plans to attend the Body Bar Women's Nationals at the Exhibition Building in Osceola Heritage Park in Kissimmee, Florida, May 13th through the 15th. 5 different age groups will compete, with 2 of the divisions serving as qualifying events for the World Championships. Winners in the Body Bar FILA Junior Nationals will qualify for the U.S. team at the FILA Junior World Championships in Bucharest, Romania, July 26th through the 31st. These athletes are 17 to 20 years old. Members of the 2010 FILA Junior World Team eligible to return include 2-time Junior World Champion Victoria Anthony, competing at 105 pounds, and 2-time Junior World Bronze medalist Helen Maroulis, who competes at 121 pounds. Also seeking to make another Junior World Team is Aaron Golston, who wrestled at 97 pounds last year. Winners in the Body Bar FILA Cadet Nationals will qualify for the FILA Cadet World Championships in Zimbabwe, Hungary on August 23rd through the 28th. These athletes are 15 to 17-year-olds, and there hasn't been a FILA Cadet World Championship since 1999. I'm excited to see the outcome of this event. The deadline for discounted online registration is Tuesday, May 11th at 7 o'clock Central Time. Again, 7 o'clock Central Time. Find out more at trackwrestling.com. Athletes may also register on site. There will be a free Body Bar Women's Technique Clinic conducted by Olympian Marcy Van Duzen on Saturday, May 14th at 8 a.m. Van Duzen is the head coach of the women's team at Menlo College. There will be live webcasts from the Body Bar Women's Nationals on themat.com with Jason Bryant calling the action. With almost 800 entries, the Making a Difference tournament Sunday, April 30th in Nashville, Tennessee was a huge success. It was an Ironman tournament with competitors in folk style, freestyle, and Greco coming from many states. Making a Difference tournaments provide high-quality competition with net proceeds donated directly to college wrestling. The organizers in Tennessee raised $8,000 for college wrestling at this event. USA Wrestling's Director of Program Development and World Freestyle Champion Les Gutches provided a free wrestling clinic. Gutches talked to us why this event was important to the future of college wrestling. A live webcast of the event was provided so fans could watch from across the nation. USA Wrestling has organized successful Making a Difference tournaments now in Oregon, Illinois, and Tennessee. We invite you to make a difference. Many other states will be hosting these outstanding events next fall, and I hope you will be one of them. This week's USA Wrestling Weekly Technique segment comes from the USA Wrestling Core Curriculum Series Olympic Styles Level 1. It features the ankle lace. The technique is instructed by USA Wrestling National Freestyle Developmental Coach Bill Zadig. The athletes demonstrating are USOTC residents Angel Escobedo and Jimmy Chase.
Another one of the most common turns in freestyle wrestling is an ankle lace or a leg lace. A couple of key points again are our shoulder pressure. Angel's going to pin Jimmy's hips down by putting his shoulder in the back of his hamstring below his butt and trapping his hip with Angel's head. He's attacking both legs at the knee or above. Very important that you're squeezing with your elbows. You see Angel's hand placement on the thigh, scooping with the elbow, and he's going to drive forward, keeping his hips pinned, and then scoop with his bottom knee. As he scoops, he's wrapping deep with the outside arm and threading with the inside, and he's driving forward. Very important that we drive forward to keep the hip pressure on our opponent and not barrel roll. It's very common that once we get the legs crossed, we try to barrel roll straight to the side. What that does is release pressure on Jimmy's hips, and he can butt back and get knees wide. With Angel's shoulder pressure forward, he keeps his hips pinned down, and he can roll forward, exposing him for a 2-point score. And he's also in position where he was recovered and able to go for a second move. Go ahead. Also, very important, you notice on the far side of the body, Angel's isolating his opponent's leg by trapping with the ankle over the leg, and he's also attacking this leg above the knee at the thigh and squeezing his elbow back to his rib. As he plants the shoulder and the butt, drives forward, the knee slides over, he scoops, wraps deep, and he's able to run in a forward manner, again securing a 2-point score, and recovers in a position to go again.
Hey, stay tuned. We have a lot more coming up. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
I'm Bill Zadig, 2006 World Champion, National Freestyle Development Coach, and you're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
Excellence like this takes a lifetime to achieve. So when athletes you've been watching all your life reach for world levels of competition, why not spend some quality time and just enjoy the show? Don't miss the 2011 U.S. World Team Trials, June 9th through 11th in Oklahoma City. Brought to you by ASICS, the official sponsor of USA Wrestling's national teams. Reserve your tickets now.
Several of the nation's most successful wrestlers were inducted in the class of 2011 of the Glenn Brand Wrestling Hall of Fame of Iowa. These honorees are enshrined in the National Wrestling Hall of Fame Dan Gable Museum in Waterloo. Individual inductees included Bill Zadig, Doug Schwab, Joe Scarpello of the University of Iowa, and Jason Smith of Iowa State University. Zadig serves as USA Wrestling's National Freestyle Developmental Coach. He was a world champion in freestyle wrestling in 1996 and competed in 2 world championships. He was an NCAA champion for the Hawkeyes in 1996. Schwab was a member of the 2008 U.S. Olympic team as well as the 2007 U.S. World Team. He won the NCAA title for the Hawkeyes in 1999. Schwab is now the head coach at the University of Northern Iowa. Smith was an NCAA champion for Iowa State in 1969 and 1970. He was also third in the 1968 NCAA championships. A highlight this year was the induction of the first team into the Glenn Brand Wrestling Hall of Fame. The 1947 NCAA championship team from Cornell College was recognized for its historic achievement of becoming the first team from Iowa to win an NCAA team title. The team also won the National AAU title in 1947. It was the first time one team took both events in the same year. Team members and families were there as Arno Neiman, author of the Dream Team of 1947, presented the award to the team, and a team member, Al Parton, provided the induction speech. Moving for sure. Also honored was USA Wrestling volunteer leader Steve Knipp, former head wrestling coach at East Waterloo. He was honored with the Russ Smith Community Impact Award. Well, the highly successful New Jersey Night of Champions was held at Bernard's Inn in New Jersey earlier this month. The event was co-sponsored by USA Wrestling and the U.S. Soccer Federation and raised substantial funds and awareness for both sports organizations. One of the greatest wrestlers of all time, 3-time world champion and Olympian Lee Kemp, provided inspiration and demonstrations at local schools. Kemp, also a 3-time NCAA champion, provided area high school and middle school wrestlers with sound advice concerning success on and off the mat. Kemp was also one of the speakers at the Night of Champions function, sharing his message with all those in attendance.
Well, wrestling has taught me a lot about life. First thing, it teaches you how to fight. You know, when you're a wrestler, you're in a struggle. It teaches you how to fight. And when you go on and through life, you realize that life's a struggle too. And you've got to fight back to get the things you want. And you don't go through this world without having some setbacks and getting kind of knocked on your butt. And you got to be able to get back up, and you got to fight for what you want. I think just learning how to stay focused on a goal and persevere through the goal, through all the different things that could happen, is no different than an athlete trying to, or a wrestler, in my case a wrestler, fighting for that gold medal. And you work and you toil for it, sometimes for years, just to get to that one place that you had always hoped for. So it's no different in business. You know, I owned a car dealership, and every day was like being on the wrestling mat. You know, we had to generate enough income to pay our bills and to move forward and try to hit our sales goals. So it's focusing in sports, and wrestling in particular teaches you to focus. And believe me, I use it in my life now for sure.
There was a slideshow and inspirational message from Olympic champion Rulon Gardner as part of the evening. Numerous members of the wrestling community came out to support USA Wrestling and enjoy the program and activities. As always, we appreciate you joining us. We'll see you all next week right here on USA Wrestling Weekly. Have a good one, everybody.